Hello, and thank you so much for joining me for this WNCT Now digital news update. I'm Emily Severidge, live in the WNCT digital studio. Let's go ahead and get right into some top and trending stories before your nightly newscast. The UNC school system has announced they don't plan on mandating COVID vaccinations for students. The UNC system, which controls 16 North Carolina public universities, say there is no specific public health guidance on vaccine requirements. Leaders say they're worried that enrollment may decrease as vaccines are required, or it could add to vaccine hesitancy. But mandating vaccines could mean a faster return to usual campus activities. More on this story is coming up on your news at 5 and 6 on WNCT. A Carteret County man is facing several burglary-related charges that happened in early April and on Christmas Day in Beaufort. 27-year-old Michael Gavin Burgess has been identified as the suspect. Detectives discovered video evidence of the incident, and Burgess was arrested today at his home. During a search of his residence, property that linked Burgess to the burglaries was discovered. Burgess is charged with second-degree burglary, first-degree burglary, felony larceny, and felony possession of stolen property. He is currently being held at the Carteret County Jail. A friendly reminder of your weather forecast for today, the possibility of some thunderstorms, so just make sure to be carrying that umbrella or rain jacket with you just in case. You can also go ahead and download that free Storm Team 9 weather app so we can keep you informed and safe in severe weather. NASA made history today, and it's definitely a means of celebration. And a new study shows North Carolina teen drivers are pretty safe compared to the rest of the country. That and more coming up after this short break.
Covering severe weather in the spring is all about keeping you safe and informed.
This storm system is on a trajectory to be...
We have great technology that helps us to accurately pinpoint down to your neighborhood where storms are headed.
Rain just barely missed us.
And our meteorologists are hard at work every day with one mission: to keep you safe, informed, and ahead of the storms.
Continues to pump in some southerly wind.
Storm Team 9, on air, online, and on our mobile app.
Thanks so much for joining me. If you're just tuning in, I'm Emily Severidge, live in the WNCT digital studio, bringing you some late evening updates. WNCT brings you live streamed updates every Monday through Friday at 1:30 p.m. and 4 o'clock p.m. to bring you the latest and up-to-date news before our nightly newscasts. Space history was made earlier today at NASA. Check it out. The space agency launched INGENUITY's helicopter over the surface of Mars, marking the first power-controlled flight of an aircraft on another planet. The 4-pound mini helicopter was designed and built at NASA's Jet Lab in Pasadena. The first flight was short, but INGENUITY flew about 10 feet above the surface, then hovered there for a short time before landing again on the red planet. It arrived on Mars along with Perseverance, the rover, back in February. Now, the CEO of drug company Moderna announced this week that they'll be making a third booster shot for the 2-dose vaccine, hopefully to be available by fall. Pfizer's CEO announced last week that people will likely need a booster of their shot within a year. Health experts say booster shots for COVID-19 will likely become necessary, but the timeline is hard to tell. Jason Raven from our sister station in Columbia has the story.
State health officials say it might be too early to tell if you'll need to roll up your sleeves again after becoming fully vaccinated. The CEO of Pfizer has suggested fully vaccinated people might need a third dose 6 months to a year after their second dose. Other federal officials have also suggested possible booster shots every year to protect people against COVID-19. Now, Assistant State Epidemiologist Dr. Jane Kelly says it's a little too early to tell how long protection from the COVID-19 vaccines lasts.
We know right now that antibody levels stay high for at least 6 months. Now, that's not only 6 months, that's at least 6 months. We haven't had vaccine long enough to tell how long it is going to last. It is possible that it will be a more long-lasting vaccine.
And DHEC says 1.4 million people have received the first dose of either the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine. In Columbia, Jason Ravens, 7 News.
A new report by Copilot says teen drivers across North Carolina are doing pretty good in the safety department. The report looked at U.S. states with the riskiest teenage drivers. North Carolina's teen drivers are the 6th safest in the country. In North Carolina, 8.1% of young drivers report not wearing a seatbelt when driving. 2.9% report drinking and driving, and 35.9% report texting and driving. Teens are the riskiest group on the road, according to the CDC. The risk of a fatal crash is 3 times higher per mile driven for drivers aged 16 to 19 than for drivers aged 20 and up. Risks are particularly high for male drivers, drivers with other teenage passengers, and teens who are in their first few months of receiving their license. Well, that is going to wrap up this WNCT Now Evening News Update. Of course, we have more news coming up for you tonight on our broadcast at 5 and 6, 10 and 11, so be sure to check those out. Thanks so much for watching and have a wonderful rest of your work week.